What's up, everybody? How's it going? Hope you're all having a good night. I had to do juries today at the school that I teach at, and so I am officially done teaching for the semester. So, if any of you had juries, I hope they went well. I'm going to do a little bit of the flow studies to warm up. When I'm doing the flow studies, just trying to think of great articulation at the beginning and keeping everything nice and even, and having the sound be consistent from start to finish. Shaw, what's up, man? If you thought of any questions in between when we talked last and now, just let me know. If not, yeah, enjoy. All right, hold on. I forgot I did a podcast interview and I moved the levels for the microphone. Oh, we'll tell them hi. Okay, I'm gonna dive into my stuff for Cascades actually. So let's look at the routine program. We have. I need to change this thing so it makes sense, but oh, I'm not even looking at the right routine. Cascades. All right, so we're on week 2. So first 4 lines at 127.5. So this one time through on my programs, this is designed for a pro or a Sorry, hang on. I'm fixing the thing on the stream so we can all see the chat. There we go. What can I do to play faster figures like Fusa? I don't know what a Fusa, F-U-S-A-S. Fugues? I don't know what that means. Can you help me? Can you help me? When I do different types of the extended flow stays, I feel my lip and throat start to close and tighten up a bit as I ascend. So relaxation, I suppose, is the go-to answer. I would just try to make sure that it feels that you can go and that you're not sort of forcing. I don't have much experience with this myself as you start to ascend, but if you feel like you're closing your throat to create some sort of faster airstream, that could be not that you're thinking I'm going to do that, but if that's kind of what ends up happening, then it can cause that. So we need faster air to ascend, and so that should come from the diaphragm down here and not from sort of the chest or tension. If anybody watching has any experience with when they start to ascend into the upper register, their throat starts to close down and have a tighten, please help Donald and I out. I would appreciate it. Like I said, I'm going to play the first 4 lines of this, and my aim is to have a performance of this. So I'm going to try to get my mind in the right place, and I'm going to try to just take a breath and lay it down to the best of my ability. We got to get better. This is a way that we can get better at the first time, right? Playing what we want the first time and not the 4th, 5th, 6th time, is to give ourselves one chance to do it and see how that goes. So here we go. Still under tempo, of course. Oh yeah, flutter. I didn't even think about that. Flutter tonguing can be a really useful, I guess, tool or tip, if you want to call it that, because it forces the air to get out front here, and that you know that your air is driving it. Yeah, that's a tool that many people used or have used. So you should try that out. And do you know if you don't know how to flutter tongue, maybe Mario, if you have any tips on how to flutter tongue effectively or efficiently, please let us know. Or how to learn to flutter tongue better. Line 20 through. All right, so this is going to be one time through as well. Okay, that's that. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but that is all the work I'll do. As you can see on this program, it says first 4 lines under day 2. And then if you look at day 4, first 4 lines is down at the bottom, and it's 4 to 5 times at 93 beats per minute. So whatever doesn't feel good here, I'll be able to work out later. I'm mostly concerned with trying to just get good performance style repetitions in. And so now we're going to back off the tempo a little bit where it doesn't feel quite as fast, and we're going to get multiple repetitions in. back to the scene. Man, I'm bad at this today. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have the trumpet mic on the other one, and you couldn't see the music either way. But we're back. I'm going to do it again. That was the best trumpet playing I've ever done in my life before, too. I'm sorry everybody missed it. Donald, I have a Sennheiser E609 that's near my bell, and then I have the same mic as this one, which is the one I'm talking into, and that one is over there, and it picks up some of the room noise, and I try to get a nice balance. I don't know if it's the greatest, most possible awesome sound that I'm going to get, but it's the best I got for right now. When I bought this stuff, I didn't know if I was going to be, a big time live streamer or anything like that. So I just did the best I could. And hopefully, if this becomes enough of a thing where it's like I should totally invest in this, I guess, monetarily. Those Barkley mics look pretty nice, and maybe there's something else out there for me. But as of right now, that's what I'm working with. So if you want to see it, I can show you. The thing that's really annoying about this piece, I like this piece a lot, actually. The thing that's really annoying about it is it's easier. It's much easier, faster. It feels like than it is slow. For some reason, when it's slow, you can't just kind of gloss all over everything, and you have to nail it, and it's just weirdly difficult. So, anyway, that's going to be that for that. I'll have a chance to kind of work through that later on in the week. And I'm not also when I'm early on into a program, I rarely ever am trying to worry too much about. I mean, I want it to be as perfect as possible, but I also know there's just sort of an acclimation point or time of acclimation where I get used to these things. And I just think there's no reason for me, especially 1 to 2 weeks in, to be hammering out repetitions. All I'd be doing is just tiring myself out and ingraining not great stuff. So we're going to wait until I have a little bit more command, and then maybe we'll bump up repetitions or performances. Usually is how we're going to do it. So Here's the end, the last little bit here, the last 3 lines. Progress is slow. If your progress is slow, my suggestion, without hearing any of your trumpet playing or knowing anything about you at all, many times people struggle with making progress because they're trying to play too fast too soon. So there's that saying, practice fast, learn slow, practice slow, learn fast. So my suggestion is to do what I'm doing right now and play way under tempo for a little while and see if we can ingrain some good habits. So maybe 1 full week of playing really, really slowly. Don't speed it up right away. Stay slow so you can get a number of days that have good repetitions, a number of days that have successes, and then maybe start speeding it up and see if that is helpful. Again, it's hard to accurately diagnose it without an example, but that's a very common thing, to just try to play too fast too soon. And that's what this programming for me that I've written is about. And that's what I'm trying to test the theory of right now is, what if I just play way under tempo for a while? Will I have better mastery of it than if I just sort of dove in and kind of fixed things little by little? If that did not answer your question, let me know, and I will continue to try to do so. All right. One more time through that, and then we have, I don't know what tempo it's at. Maybe I think it's at 93. We have a section earlier in the piece, and then we're done practicing Cascades for today. All right, so now we just got to scroll up. We have this little middle section here at 93. This is going to be 4 times probably, so bear with me. Time number 1. Is there any particular thing you're prepping this and Tromba Solo for, or purely to push your limits as a player? Generally, to push my limits as a player. I wanted to pick things that were very difficult. But I'd also like to make some nice videos of it, you know? I'd like to get a really good recording of myself doing it, and then, you know, if I can spare the cash, get like a video recording company or of whatever, the videographer, and make a really nice YouTube video out of it, and a nice haul. And I think it would just be a really cool project to take on. And this is the genesis. I can't make that video unless I've learned it. So I just thought I might as well invest and try it out. Nice, a lot of sand in your low register. I would just say that it's a possibility, right? Like it's a possibility that can happen to all of us. There are days where my low register doesn't feel great. Troy, before I answer your question though, I would ask, how much time do you spend working in the low register? If you had to pick on average an amount of time when you practice, how much time do you spend working in the low register? That's going to be like, how much time do you spend doing it, and what do you do to work at getting better at the low register? Those two things would be helpful for me to know. Like, my low register doesn't feel that great right now. That's one of the struggles I have with this piece, actually, is it just goes over the whole range of the instrument. You don't really feel like you can get into a groove of playing high or a groove of playing low. So that's why I'm trying to go nice and slow and find the slots where these notes are supposed to go. Yes. Yeah, you can practice. But you got, other than, yeah, go ahead and practice. I am. Yeah, practice, go. I think that's great. How many minutes do you think? Like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes? What do you think? All right, we got to switch the program to Tromba Solo. So 360. All right, here's the full 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, yeah, good. So is it now I have two more questions. One, do you get sand in your playing every single time? Or is it only sometimes? And do you feel that you are improving your ability to play in the low register more consistently through your practice? So I'm gonna practice this the same way I practiced it last time. It's we're going from here to the end. Okay, cool, Troy. So when we descend into the low register, like you said, we want to try to keep everything the same. But what has to happen is the embouchure has to come forward, right? And so we have to think it's not going to come that far forward, but the focus of the aperture, the focus has to stay the same. And so we want to move. I don't know how fast. Again, I don't know what this exercise sounds like for you, but we want to move very slowly and keep the sound the same and stop where the sound gets bad. All right, so obviously for me, the sound stayed the same because I feel pretty comfortable in the low register. But for you, you would stop around. So if G, if low G is where your sound starts to feel not great, you're gonna try to. I mean, you might just let F sharp go for a second, and you might just try to. Getting better at anything, I think, is just building up successes doing it, right? And so, yeah, we have to have what a good teacher will give you is a good teacher will give you the understanding of how to healthily and efficiently do the thing you want to do. And so if there's a problem in your production, that is for a teacher, or if you can send me a video or something like that, we can talk about that. But in terms of structure, if you let's assume you're doing it correctly, and then what we need is more successes than failures, right? And so I would rest a fair amount and I would try to make it so that you're able to slowly progress, very, very slowly progress downwards so that you can try to keep everything the same. And we want to have the same intensity of sound the whole way through. So we got to get that first C to be beautiful. And if a C is difficult for you to do because it's still kind of part of the low register, then do a G. So you might start with a G, Troy. A lot of us can get pretty close to our best sound on something like a G. So we need to start with our best sound and then try to copy our best sound as we progress into registers that are difficult for us to do. Donald, I'm the same. This is what my pedal C is like. Like I can't quite slot it. On my B flat trumpet, it's okay, but I really struggle. I've been kind of low key trying to figure it out for years, and I just struggle to do it. All right, thank God that's the only time I have to do that today. Next section is page 2 to tempo change 3 times at 312. Okay. All right, we're going to knock one down real quick here. So again, that fast tempo one was let's just perform. Let's see what we got. Even though we're still under tempo, we're thinking I'm not going to stop no matter what. This is a performance. Now, of course, I'm going to do my best not to stop here, but because it's a little bit slower, I can start to think of the details a little bit more. How do I want a tongue? How do I want my air to move through? What does my sound sound like on every single note? Of course, we want those things ingrained, but sometimes when we perform, it's best if we just don't think. If we just say, this is what I want to sound like, and just go. Cool. So yeah, this piece I'm really trying to, when they have tenutos, really trying to bring those out. It sounds like that's what Oli sounds like he does. So I'm trying my best to do that. Um, I'll try to get that piano at the end of line 3. Try to get that piano thing to be a little bit clearer, and then just continue to try to drive consistency. Try to drive the quality of my playing high. All right, not bad. Not bad. Still not quite 100% perfect, right? There's an amount of human error, but I'm getting close to being able to focus enough and know what I want to do. So I'm gonna rest another second. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. If you're here and you haven't said hi, you should say hi so I know you're here, so I know who's watching. I wish it told me, but it doesn't. I just know that there are 6 people here. And then it says participants, but there's nobody. So let me know you're here if you haven't already. Ryan Green, what is up? How's it going? Where are you from? Where do you live? What's your story? Tell me about you. While I do this next pro. Okay. All right, we got this. Got this in. So this is supposed to be 4 times. So settle in, everyone. We're gonna get 4, hopefully, really awesome repetitions, and then we'll be done with this piece. Yo, Colin, how's it going? Appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, I just need to do that 3 more times. It's there's something going on out there. I don't know what it is. Yeah, I just need to do that again. It's not super exciting, but doing this 4 times like this is going to continue to help me ingrain exactly what I want, and that's what I care about. Troy, did any of that? If you're still here, Troy, did any of that stuff I was talking about make sense about the low register? If it did, awesome. If it didn't, I'm more than happy to continue trying to help make sense of it. Yeah, this honestly feels great. It's very slow, so it should feel great. But sometimes, and maybe you guys have experienced this, sometimes playing really slow is just more difficult. It's that way in Cascades. There's so much of Cascades that just sort of seems to like roll off the fingers. And when you slow it down and start thinking about it, it gets to be weird. Some people will say double tonguing is the same thing. It's easier to double tongue faster than it is to double tongue more slowly. And so I just want to make sure I own it at all different tempo ranges. And so there's a bit of discipline in half tempo practicing, but I think it's totally worth it, and the experiences that I've had. So I don't know, anyone watching, if you've had experiences, whether it's on a program like I've got, or you've just done it at 50% tempo, what do you feel like the benefits and the struggles have been in 50% practicing? And do you continue to do it, or do you feel like it's not worth it? In college, but not currently in a band, did drum corps for a couple years, into strength training at the moment, so I really did the whole programming logic. Oh, awesome, man. Awesome. Strength training, are you a power lifter, or are you into just general strength training, like CrossFit? What kind of, I know CrossFit's not generally strength training, but do you have a sort of a discipline, or are you just trying to get stronger with whatever way you can? Yeah, I was super into powerlifting for a while. I did a little bit of strongman training as well, which I really, really enjoyed. It's just really hard, obviously. And then I did a powerlifting program for a while, but my coach kind of like quit on me halfway through. And now I'm just trying to, I've gotten, I guess, just busier with the trumpet and work and stuff like that. So now I'm just trying to like, I consider it a victory if I just get in the gym. And I have one in my basement, you know. I have like kind of a bare bones gym in my basement, and I would consider it just a win to even get in the gym and do it. So, how long have you been training? All right. Next, we're gonna do the 1 minute drill. For those that are watching that don't know what the 1 minute drill is, I gotta pull up the other one. The 1 minute drill is specifically designed to help me play this piece actually. So you can see we have all of these notes, and for some of you know this already, but this is supposed to go at 120. So we have One and two, three. And it just makes your tongue tired. And so the 1 minute drill is designed to improve my ability to tongue for a long period of time. So we have, I gotta mark this week 2. So 1 minute drill is at 70. And I just tongue 16th notes at quarter note equals 70 for 1 minute straight. So I have a stopwatch up here, and we'll be ready to go in a second. Consistently for about 4 summers now. Did drum corps for these past 2 summers. I had to follow the programs during spring months, but I'm doing barbell lifts for around 2 years. Awesome. I love weight training. I think it's the coolest. I tried to run for a little while, and I wasn't into that. And then I tried to run again, and I kind of quit. And then I did some sort of body weight training stuff. I bought there's a YouTuber named Jeff Cavalier. His name, Athlean X is his channel. I bought his body weight program, and I kind of enjoyed doing that. It's like more of a calisthenics thing. And then I got into the gym and started lifting doing like barbell lifts and stuff, and I thought, oh, this is home. Like, this is where I belong, And so I sort of realized at that point in time that I wanted to lose weight was the goal, but I didn't realize that I could just lift weights and eat differently, right? I always thought, oh, you have to run to do this kind of thing, and I realized exercise, there's all sorts of forms of exercise. People got to find the form of exercise they like, rather than just forcing themselves to do something that they don't want to do. Have you ever messed around with mixed multiple tongue in that section? Seems like it makes you some harder notes. Yeah, I thought about it, Colin. It definitely crossed my mind, and I've experimented with it. I think it's totally doable. Literally the only reason I haven't done it is because I wanted to just have a reason to try to tongue faster, sort of as a personal challenge. And if it doesn't work, I can always go back, re-groove the piece over a course of 7 weeks again, and figure out how to go, to get some double tonguing worked in there. But so far, I just thought I would use it as an excuse to try to push my single tongue speed, because I believe it's something I can get to go faster. So I just wanted to try to see if I could do it in sort of a demonstrable, observable way with that piece of music. So the aim of that exercise is to, tongue for a long time, and then over the course of the program, isn't it easier? I feel like it's easier to just go because I don't actually have to coordinate anything, But yeah, the goal is to get that up to 128. So I am right now 50 8 clicks under tempo, at least from what it was today. So we'll see how it goes. Program next is going to be Mike Sachs's book. We're going to do that. We got to set this at 60. Is that right? 60? What was it last week? 50? Yeah. And scene. Boom, there I am. All right, we'll do a couple of these and I'll come back and see what's up. Donald, in this particular instance, I'm using it for single tongue to exhaust my single tongue. I've heard accounts and records of this exercise that it was made up by Herbert Clark. We got it at Northwestern. We got it from Chris Martin. A good friend of mine, Chris Larios, did the exercise, and from all accounts, that it will help your multiple tongue fluency and speed. As well, just because the tongue getting better and the tongue getting stronger is going to affect the other side too. So, yeah, I don't use it right now for multiple tonguing. I suppose you could, though. I suppose you could. I think it's also possible that there's another added part to the exercise where you're supposed to tongue as fast as you possibly can for shorter periods of time to increase that too. But we'll program that later if it doesn't seem to work. So through all those exercises, I'm trying to think of not just keeping the air moving, but keeping it forward so I feel that it's towards the front of my embouchure and that I can control what's going on. I don't want to feel like I'm just moving air that's not intense or that's not excited, because I feel like it becomes much more difficult to play the trumpet when it's sort of, I've said this in many streams, but when it's sort of back here, you're sort of in survival mode. And when you breathe on the lips, get set, and move, or rather, for me, get set, breathe through the lips, and then blow, you feel like you can feel the air right on your lips, and that it's no problem to do it. We're going to go a couple more higher, and then we'll move on. All right, what's next on the program? I think we have Arbin's double tonguing. Here I'm focused on taka 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 ta, being coordinated, and then yeah, really trying to uh, kick the ke taka taka. So we'll definitely do that a few more times. So in this program, we're at 60% tempo. So full tempo is somewhere up in the 180s or something like that for this particular exercise. So although it seems slow right now, we're going to be moving quite a bit as the tempo, as the weeks go on. Also, I should say that at the end of this week, on day 6 of the program, although I only have 5 days programmed, on day 6 of each week, I'm probably just gonna perform both of the solos that I have to do, so I can record them, make some notes, and then know what I want to do for the next week. C. Switch of music. Boom, 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 boom. The low A2 drills are right here. Okay, so what we have here, so I'm going to play all of these low A2 drills, and I'm going to try to make them as awesome as possible at 65 beats per minute. Neat. Take a tiny little break. If anybody watching has any questions, I don't know if there's new people, but if you have not said hi, let me know you're here. Would love to know you're here. If you have any questions about what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, please let me know. If you have any questions about anything, if you have any questions about Instagram or the podcast, or if you have questions about my favorite TV show or my kids, I don't know, just want to talk, just want to hang out. That's what says come say hi in AMA. Next one. Right now, I play Bach instruments. I have a Shilky piccolo, but I have a Bach C trumpet. It's a 25H pipe, a 239, but sterling silver bell, whatever that means. And then I have this horn, which is from like the late 1970s, I think. It's late enough that I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but it says IND. You can't see that. It says IND for the postal code for Indiana. It's that old, so they're not the easiest playing horns, but I really like the sound of them. I like the fullness of the sound, so I've certainly messed around on Yamahas, and they're amazing horns as well. So, a guy could be lucky either way, I suppose. How about you? What are you playing on, Donald? That one's confusing because you have G flats in there, but we did it. Here's the last one. Okay, so the reason I've said this many times, but the reason that I put the low playing in my routine is because as a principal player, I play a lot of high notes, and as you can hear, my low register, while serviceable, is not amazingly incredible. So I got to get better at that, and the only way you get better is by getting quality repetitions in and getting the repetitions in. So what I have here for the next and the last thing is we're going to play some Bordonis on the Rotary. It's a very exciting day. If anybody has any favorite Bordonis, because I've played them all, I love them all. If anybody has any favorite Bordonis, let me know. I'm going to start with let's go down here and let's just see. Yeah, this is a good one. So I'm gonna start with number 37. So I don't know if people want to pick like a random number or they want to pick their favorite ones, but I just have to play three of these things total. It doesn't matter which ones. From the early 50s. From the early 50s too. That's awesome. I mean, I've never played a horn that old. I don't know when my C trumpet was made, but like I said, mine is from the late my B flat's from the late 70s and it sounds great. I can't imagine from the early 50s. Do you still have that and still play it? Let's do this one. I've never played this one before. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do for that because that was like two etudes in one. The differences I find between rotary and piston are rotaries feel wider, right? So a piston is like, and a rotary is like, oh. In terms of actually playing it, the thing that I found the most difficulty with is that the sound is not the same on the other side. This is something Tom Hooton talked about in an IGTV video that he'd made that I thought was incredibly helpful for me, was hearing that it's not the same kind of feedback. We're so used to hearing our sound on the other side of the bell, but it's not the same. And then also when you play on your piston trumpet, you can kind of feel that the sound will go this far. And that's where the point of resistance is, right, on the horn, but a rotary might be this far. And it's just things are in different places. The pitch tendencies are different. So notes that are normally sharp on like the G on the top of the staff is not sharp. I think it might even be flat on a rotary trumpet. And then there's notes that are normally fine. And so that's why I'm doing this, really, is just to play tonal music so I can hear the pitch tendencies, because in my most recent Chicago Symphony audition, it's the most recent audition I took, I think it's my rotary playing that more than, I don't know, maybe it wasn't this, but I know my rotary playing didn't help my case, right? And I just didn't feel comfortable. Part of the reason was I was nervous, but I just didn't feel like I could just and play musically, and it sounded scared and it sounded tentative. So it is something I'm interested in getting better at, and the only way to get better at it is to do it, right? And so I have just known that if I essentially just leave it in the closet, though, right? Or I just leave it off to the side and I don't always practice it. And so I just think, yeah, for me, in order for me to get better at this thing, I'm going to have to actually do it and get used to the things I'm focused on are how to release the sound, like where that point of resistance is. And then, yeah, just trying to find out where like everything is, where especially the pitch tendencies are. So I don't know if that answers your question very well or not, but I'm gonna head out pretty soon. My kids are going to bed, and I gotta go say goodnight to them. So it's a late stream tonight. I appreciate everybody stopping by. I appreciate everybody vibing it out. This is awesome. This is so much fun for me to do. It brings me so much joy to be able to just to talk with people about who want to know stuff. I mean, I know I'm the one providing the information, but I hope to build something someday where people just talk to each other and we can build a community. And the only way I'm going to do that is to keep showing up and hope that people kind of buy into what we're doing. So yeah, I'm sort of the thing that it's surrounded by, and maybe I'm trying to provide some inspiration or some advice or some information and stuff like that. But what I hope is, yeah, it becomes a thing where people want to show up and talk to each other and share recordings and generally just be people who talk to each other and not necessarily just talk to me. And that it's sort of the catalyst for that kind of connection amongst people who are like-minded. This is something that you lose when you leave school. You leave an education source. You lose this connection to people who do what you do and love what you do. And I'm trying to slowly build that. So let other people know, like you guys sharing, you guys telling people about it is some of the best publicity I guess I can get, because a good word of mouth means a lot. So share my YouTube page with people. And let them know that I'm streaming. Let them know that it's cool. Let them know that whatever you want to say, you can tell them. I guess you can tell people it's bad too, but that kind of doesn't feel good right in there, right in the heart. So just let them, I haven't quite figured this pitch out yet, but I want to, like I said, I want to build a community where people can find like-minded individuals, people who want to get better at the trumpet, people who are interested in thinking of new ideas and sharing their ideas. And I can't do it without your guys' help. So yeah, I hope to see you at more streams, and I hope this is awesome for you guys. It's definitely really, really amazing for me, and I appreciate you all very much for watching. I hope you have a good night, and I'll probably see you tomorrow. Bye.